This episode of The Horror Show is brought to you by Tom Rose, Necrotic, Wendy Smith, and a big special shout out to Kimberly Siegler. Kimberly's a cool gal, and what a generous donation. Thank you so much, Kimberly. Update on merchandise. The artwork is almost done. Still waiting on the shirt design, and then we'll have enamel pins and shirts. Also, maybe a little surprise with those too. There might be a little surprise if I can get it done in time, so we'll see what happens. So that's going to be dropping soon. Might skip at this point the winter stuff, I was going to do long sleeves, but since it's going to be a bit, it'll probably, might as well just get ready for the spring, right, guys? But maybe like a baseball tee, those 3/4 sleeves. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, doing Cutter's Treasure. It's a 2-part special from Are You Afraid of the Dark? We're doing both episodes right now. Some of you have been able to find it on YouTube. We purchased it on Amazon, as we've said. And it looks like Joe won't be available this week. But we will, so me and Rachel are probably gonna do it again for another couple weeks because we can just bang them 2 out in a row. And then we'll see where Joe stands after that. All right, guys. So I feel like there's something else. Oh yeah, I sound super bizarre in these last couple episodes, this last one and this one. And the reason is, for some reason, I was so fucking lazy that night. And the way I propped up my microphone is insanity. So I have one of those articulating boom arms that stretches out. And my son was upstairs, so I didn't want to record upstairs. So I came down and I somehow managed to put it on my bookshelf and extend the arm out over my body while I was reclined in my recliner. Not the best setup for speaking. So I think I was getting a little groggy on this one. Anyway. Enjoy Cutter's Treasure, and we'll be back next week. Not sure what we're going to do. I'm going to talk to Rachel and see what we can do. Maybe we'll do a horror true crime or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, guys, enjoy Cutter's Treasure.
Paying attention in class, I was thinking about the adventures of Ash, about the misfortune of sending kids at Crystal Lake. Became addicted straight away with the initial tape. God bless Betamax. VHS, holy like Amanda Kruger. I was introduced to genre flicks by Toby Hooper. I started craving more just like Larry the Looter. I collected VHS without commentary or bloopers. No computers, magazines, a bunch of stores. Spent my money on movies and begged my mom for more. I'd watch the boys kill those Astro bastards 5 times a day or even more. I loved the gore. Lionel and Paquita combined their lonely hearts. I was hellbound, Cenobites tore my soul apart. I've seen them all, from Dracula to Vertigo. Listen up, welcome to The Horror Show with Sean and Joe.
Hello everybody and welcome to The Horror Show. Show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Rachel.
Rachel, it is great to have a woman on here for my Valentine's Day episode. Joe is still dealing with a child.
I'm very happy to be here.
Joe's been afflicted with a child.
He has come down with child.
He has come down with child.
Congratulations, Joe. Thank you for entrusting me with co-hosting duties. It has been an honor, and thank you to all of your listeners for welcoming me into your lives for the past month.
You're so sweet.
I mean, sweet.
Seriously. Our fans have been very positive. I love the messages we got from them, especially the one guy who was when Rachel mentioned the $60 candle, I was bugged out, but then you explained it as food, and I was like, oh, okay, I get it. Because it's true, a nice meal, you would pay $60 for a really good meal, and that's gone instantly.
Totally.
And so a candle at least lasts for a little while.
Yeah, that's how I have to rationalize it, because I'm the asshole who spent $60 on a candle. So I'm just gonna keep telling myself that.
Yes. I agree completely. I'm fine with it. Now I want to outdo you, honestly. Now I'm gonna go to New York City this weekend, and I'm gonna buy $100 candle.
You know what? You should. And
I might.
Joe Malone is the brand.
Joe Malone.
Joe Malone.
I'm going to buy something else.
Okay. Buy something else. Buy like a very, I don't know. Well, you like fall scents.
Well, you know what? I've noticed the more expensive ones are the ones that are based on perfume designers. Like, it's weird. But like, I don't want a candle that smells like perfume.
No, they don't have those. They have like good candle brands that are just like designer candle brands, but they smell really good. But honestly, you can get good. Like I bought a bunch of candles at Target recently and I like them.
How much were they? Wait, we're back on candle talk. Wait,
fuck.
Wait, people were like, the candle talk was unbelievable. They're like, they're like, the fact that you had candles like on the tip of your, like you didn't even hesitate when she was like, what's your favorite candle? And you not only had one, but you had two candles.
And you blend them together. You have a signature scent.
I have a signature scent.
I haven't ordered those yet, but I'm going to because I need to know.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yo, you put that. Oh my God. I can't even explain it. Anyway, Target brand, I haven't thought about. I've tried Walmart brand. Okay. I swore I would never do it, but I bought Walmart brand recently, like to burn at my office, not at my home. And
okay.
This is
wow. I love that you take. I love that you take candles to your office.
Oh yeah, I have yeah. It's like aromatherapy. It's very.
So how was the Walmart brand one?
Oh, terrible! They smell like shit. Like there's something about those scents that is just so bad. I don't know.
Can I tell you that like when I was 18. I worked at Pier 1 Imports for exactly 3 months. And first of all, the whole store smells like potpourri and candles. Yes. And like their scented candles are like very scented candles. So I would come home from work reeking. Like
it's crazy.
It's crazy how much the scent sticks to you. Anyway, yeah, it's not that interesting of a story. No, but I just had like a visceral reaction thinking about like strong scents, scented candles.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So that's our candle talk for today.
So you made me watch Cutter's Treasure
for Valentine's Day. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna treat her and her boyfriend to a real treat here.
He was so upset. He's never gonna have sex with me again. His dick is soft from watching Cutter's Treasure.
I don't know why. Charles S. Dutton's in it, and he's a fucking American treasure. He's fucking beautiful man. Charles S. Dutton, he was Dr. Gray in Gothica, if you recall. He was in that movie, that classic flick Mimic, and he was
oh, Mimic was terrible.
he was Dylan in Alien 3. So and I mean countless other things. This guy's been around the block more than we could ever imagine. But more importantly than that, this episode stars not just Dr. Vink,
but Sado.
But Sado, both making their fourth appearances in the series in season 4. We are in season 4. And so every year they got an episode. What a life. What a life.
And like I said in the last week's episode, like we know that Dr. Vink is probably some seasoned stage actor.
Yes,
like
yes.
He studied at like the Royal Shakespeare Company probably. And like I feel the same way about whoever the fuck plays Sado.
Now, so we've been talking in both episodes now about kind of like hidden messages within the episodes. Maybe not even just hidden messages, but there's like some weird sexual undertones in a lot of what's happening.
Yeah.
It happens again in this. In the first episode, I thought this kid in the opening scene, he's trying to like mac it with his girlfriend, one of the main characters.
Did you also think that he was trying to get a hand job?
He absolutely was. I'm sorry. No one lifts a woman's hand up like that to do anything but put it on their dick. Like, that's the way he lifted it up and then the camera panned down, but then it went right past his dick. What? So you didn't see. What would you ever grab a woman by the wrist? Okay, so they're making out and the girl's hand is on the ground. One of her hands is on the ground, and he grabs her by the wrist and brings it over to him, and then it cuts, and you're like, he was putting that hand on his dick. Like, there is no doubt. Right.
And then it cuts back, and they're just holding hands.
And they're just holding hands, and it's like, that's not happening. That is not.
No. He absolutely put that hand on his dick.
And have you ever seen a younger kid with bigger blue balls?
Dude, I wrote that note so many times. This kid was fucking horny.
So fucking horny. Like, so horny.
This kid's gonna grow up to be the biggest fucking asshole ever and treat women like pieces of shit.
You know what?
I'm convinced.
You know what? I disagree. Because you know why? Okay, the hand job thing, I was like, okay, you're a piece of shit. But later on, he asks for his permission to make out with her for a little.
He kind of, he doesn't force himself, but he definitely is just like, you want to make out?
No, I wrote it down. It is, he goes, no, this is so sweet. He goes,
is there any chance?
No, it's even nicer than that. I don't suppose there's any chance we can make out. I don't suppose. That's sweet.
It was very polite. It was very polite.
That's my move. That's my move, and it fails 99% of the time. So, like, trust me, it's a nice move. There's some good intentions.
I agree that was a nice thing he did, yes. But just this kid's attitude the whole time.
Oh, sure,
I just know he's going to be a douchebag later on.
Well, yes, when the girl leaves and he is like, bah!
He fucking loses
Kills himself because he can't nut. Okay. It's unbelievable. It's so ridiculous.
Okay, we have to go in order.
Yes, we do. We do have to go in order. So let's start these. This was told by Gary and Frank, a tag team in it. Gary and Frank are A-frame in this shit. Just the story in the middle, story sandwich.
And this is the outfit of Frank's that I love the most, where he has the bandana on and the cutoff jean jacket and he's wearing like a motorcycle Canadian tuxedo.
Yes.
This is the one where he looks like Rico Suave.
Yeah. And you know what? The one thing I never liked about Are You Afraid of the Dark, even as a kid, was like when they'd tell a story and it would cut to the Midnight Society, and they'd always be like, man, this story rocks. And I'd be like, or you know what? You're just reinforcing how much I hate this story. Yeah.
Or I hated in the intro. I always thought, even as a kid, I thought it was lame, was when they would all be laughing and joking around, and then one of the Midnight Society people would be like, but what if it wasn't?
Yeah.
You know, like, what? And then it would like show the kids' faces, and they'd be like, ooh.
They'd be like, oh shit, I never thought about if ice cream was bad.
Right. But what if every time you ate ice cream, it made you sick?
Yeah.
I call this tale the tale of lactose intolerance.
That's probably an episode. Just shitting out ice cream. All right. So let's dive in here. So we, boy, this story, I'll tell you what, not their best effort. And
no,
really for this to be 2 episodes
it's a bit egregious.
It really is.
They really were like overshooting their shot here. They really thought they had something, and they did not.
They did not. They could have wrapped this up in an episode. I mean, even the Ghastly Grinner would have been a better 2-part episode.
There are so many other episodes that I would have been fine with seeing more of. This one, I could not believe how fucking long and unnecessary it was.
Really, man, really. It's about fucking pirates, and that shit just bothers me. I don't give a fuck.
I was
about
surprised
pirates.
You picked this one, honestly.
Yeah, well, you know what? I see a 2-part special, and I'm all about it. You know, I'm all about the gimmicks. I'm a gimmick guy. No, this is my life.
Well, there is a lot of gimmicks in this.
My life is. I am obsessed with gimmick things. Like if you tag a gimmick onto something, there's a good chance I'm going to buy it or watch it or do anything, because I'm like, whoa, that sounds unique. even if it's like a 2-part episode, if it's like anything, if you tag it as like limited edition or special or like one of a kind, I'm watching it. I'm fucking watching it. It's ridiculous. Dude, my son watches Teen Titans Go, which I do like, right? Like, it's a fine show. It's funny. But when they do like a special episode, like they're like a special 2-part, I'm like, what the fuck? And I make sure we are home to watch it. Like, it's so bizarre. I'm just like really tuned into that. It's so weird.
So that's why you picked it.
When I watched wrestling growing up, gimmick matches, like specialty matches, like I was like, I have to buy this pay-per-view. Like there's a casket match. Like I can't miss that. Like there'd been I was just like a sucker for it, man. I still am. I want to try and think about something that I did that too recently, but I can't. Probably, I don't know. I was about to say something stupid. All right. So we jump right into a swashbuckling tale.
These kids are way too old to be playing this game.
Well, first we see some pirates in a.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're at the prologue. I forgot.
Yeah, there's always a prologue, and there's a pirate who looks like a bum, and he's trying to kill this other pirate, but it's just a skeleton. Then we see Pirate Dutton, who they're cutting off his face like it's going to be a huge reveal later that like Charles S. Dutton is in the episode.
Like kids even know who he is.
Right. And like I don't even understand it. They keep cutting off his face. And then the bum pirate drops the blade and we see a little boy pick it up. That actually doesn't affect anything.
It doesn't. Yeah, that never comes back around.
No.
Like they're acting like this is some like, oh, you remember that little kid because he's going to come back later.
Yeah, no, that's not a thing. I mean, I guess it's the only reason I ever correct myself sometimes is just because I don't want people to message me. So I understand that the knife had to come out of the cave for them to find it later. But like, it makes no sense that this little kid was like, oh, I'm going to grab that knife.
I mean, they focus so much on the little kid.
Yeah.
I don't know.
As if we would even question it later. Like, who cares? Like,
this whole story was so convoluted. Like, it made so little sense sometimes.
Well, Cutter kills this guy, like not graphically, but he's like, oh, well, it's time to die. And like pulls out his sword.
Right.
And then we cut to a couple of annoying kids playing swords.
That's when it cuts to the kids that I thought were too old to be playing that game.
Wait. Oh, and one of the kids isn't even a part of the story, huh?
No, it's like
he runs
the younger
away.
Brother. Yeah, it's like the younger brother and his friend.
Yeah. So it's Max is the younger brother, and they're spying on his older brother, Russ, who's
trying to get a hand job.
Who's trying to get a hand job, as we discussed, with his girlfriend. And they totally fucking cock block him by turning on the sprinkler in his face.
This was a story about cock blocking. This was the story.
This is a story truly of cock blocking. This is a story of teasing. Because the end of this episode is they ultimately teased Charles S. Dutton to death.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ultimately, the end is just a big tease.
I have several questions about that too.
Oh,
we'll get there.
I'm really excited for the end scene because it's really fascinating. Okay. So they turn on the sprinkler and the brother loses his mind and is like, you're an idiot. So he chases them home where the kids' parents are leaving because we can't have more than 3 characters. So we got to chase a couple of them off. So the parents are leaving and they're going to leave them in the hands of this elderly woman.
This fucking babysitter.
She a fucking nightmare.
This fucking babysitter is literally every 90s kids movie babysitter.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Like, and not even 90s kids movie, like 90s kids commercial, 90s kids TV show. Like, I've never seen a babysitter like that in my life before.
No. And the other funny part is the way that kids treated their babysitters in TV and movies in the 90s was so terrible. Like, they were
it was abusive.
Yeah. And like, even this one, they're like, God, she smells like fish. And so they hate her so much they decide to trick her into leaving somehow by just giving her the money up front and being like, split.
It reminded me of like a more wholesome version of, do you remember Three Ninjas?
Oh my God, yes.
Okay, so Three Ninjas was like one of my favorite movies ever as a kid.
It's good.
And I still think it's hilarious. because I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Yes.
Like one of my favorite lines in that movie is when the kid goes, "Okay, the good news is they cream the babysitter with the pizza. The bad news is they have a gun." It was so dark.
You know what? Oh man, that reminds me of there were two movies I loved. Oh man. One was Camp Nowhere.
Oh yeah, that was good.
I loved Anarchy. Like
yeah.
Child
Like
Anarchy.
Heavyweights.
Yes, Heavyweights, but at least Heavyweights wasn't total child anarchy cuz like
it was revenge. It was a revenge.
It was revenge. It was child revenge, but child anarchy. That was like, let's lock up all the adults and fucking, because there was that, and then there was the one where they
House Arrest.
House Arrest. Yes,
that movie was great.
It was phenomenal. It was phenomenal.
Jamie Lee.
Lock them all in the fucking basement.
That's pretty sadistic. Even as a kid, I was like, this is fucking twisted.
Dude, they are treating it like a prison too. Like they like control their TV time, and they're like, "Fine,
right.
You can listen to the radio for 5 minutes."
It's fucked up.
It's so cruel. And yet every kid that watched it was like, "I wish I could do that." So they tricked the babysitter into leaving, and the two brothers have a little tiff here. Because the older one is a straight pussy hound, and the younger one is like, I want to hang out. Like they get the babysitter away, and the younger Max is like, so what do we do next? And the older kid's like, I don't give a shit what you do. Which, by the way, I mean, I never had brothers, but like all I wanted was peace from my siblings. Like I just and I think they wanted the same. Like they didn't want to hang out with me. Like
right.
No babysitter. We're going on our separate ways. We're doing our own thing. I can't even imagine having a sibling that was like, oh, well, what are you doing?
I did not want to hang out with my brother at all. Ever. And he didn't want to hang out with me. It was like, oh, mom's not home. Bye.
And like, maybe it's because I had sisters, so I didn't have a brother, but like maybe a same sex thing. It's a little different, but
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But he's like, yeah, he's invited his girlfriend over, like literally to Netflix and chill.
Yes. Yeah. Open CDs and chill.
Oh my God, the CDs.
The CDs was the best part.
I wrote that down. I totally wrote that down. And I'm very happy that you also noticed that too. I'm getting some CDs.
I'm getting some CDs, man.
I tried to look at what CDs he was getting.
So did I.
And they were just like nondescript.
Yeah.
I was disappointed.
I know. I was disappointed too. So the brother's like, fine, I'll leave you alone, but you have to buy me this magic set from Sardos.
Yeah.
It feels so crowbarred in at this point. Like, it's like.
Dude, they shoehorned in Dr. Vink and Sardo. They really had nothing to do with this story, except that it was like a vehicle to get whatever they get at Sardo's. But they could have gotten that anywhere.
It's so weird that this was like their big season 4 2-part It's so weird.
They deserve better. They deserve so much better.
They did. So Russ goes to Sardo's to buy the stupid set. And
did you think his name was also Rush during a lot of this? Because I kept hearing Rush.
No, but it is Canadian, so it could be Rush, like named after the band.
That's what I thought.
I'm sure there are some Canadian boys named Rush.
I mean, the guy in the Laughing in the Dark was named Ouija.
I know.
So
that was
like,
ridiculous. And did you see how they spelled it?
No. How'd they spell it?
In the credits, they spelled it WEEGE.
That's how I spelled it in my notes, because I was like, there's no way this kid's actually named after the board. It's probably like Ouija, like a squeegee.
Yeah, no, I didn't. So maybe it is Rush. I don't know. Canadians are, they're using their own language. It's just let it be.
Okay.
So there's a chest at Sardo's, like a pirate chest, like a treasure chest. And it's got a sign on it. And if you can open it, you win whatever's inside. And Sardo's like the kid's like, can I try? And Sardo's like, it's just a piece of shit. It never opens. And then the kid somehow opens it by just by touching it. And you're right. Sardo actually was a good actor, because like I actually really liked the one line he delivered that was pretty funny. Was he was like, oh, I can get $5,000. dolls, $5,000. I'm a collector.
Right. I'm a doll collector.
Like, I was like, that's fucking funny. Like, that's funny shit.
And Sardo also, like, Dr. Vink had his catchphrase, which was Dr. Vink with a va.
Right.
But Sardo also had his catchphrase, and his whole deal was that no one ever could, like, pronounce his name correctly.
Yes.
And, like, people would always call him Mr. Sardo, and he would go, I'm Sardo. No, mister, accent on the dough. And people would be like, yeah, whatever, sourdough.
I really need to talk to you about the end of this. Like, I have to wait.
Okay.
Because I want to talk to you so bad about Sardo and Vink's interaction at the very end.
Oh, I definitely wrote about that.
Okay.
Very curious. Very curious.
We have the same note. The same note. I can already tell you we have the same note.
Okay.
Because that was insane.
Okay. Don't give it away.
All right. You could cut the tension with a knife, and it's not bad tension. Like,
no. Okay.
You could feel the electricity there.
Yes, you could.
Oh my gosh. Wow, that was something else. I can't even handle it. And Sardo is kind of like, he looks a lot like a skinnier John Lovitz.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Well, also a smaller head John Lovitz.
Yeah, he definitely has a smaller head, and he has like this weird, like, he has like very gelled hair. He has like a Jerry curl kind of. And he always wears blouses.
Yes, a big fan of the blouses also.
And like jewelry.
Yes.
Like, he's a very flamboyant character.
He's like a flamboyant pirate. He's a colorful pirate.
He is.
It's something else. So the kid opens it and finds out that he's won a telescope and a fucking knife. And you know, he's bummed out. As a kid, if you won a knife,
I don't know why he's upset about the knife. He's like, oh, it's just junk in here, eh? It's like, you won a antique dagger. That's pretty cool.
Without to be like sexist or anything, I just as a male myself, any boy that won a fucking knife, that shit is like gold. That shit is worth its weight in gold. Like,
especially one that looks so fucking cool.
A fucking weapon, too. A real weapon.
Right.
Of course you want a real weapon. Get the fuck out of here.
He's like so opposed to the knife.
He's like, oh God. But he brings it home anyway, and he just immediately dumps it on his little brother because his date has arrived.
Oh, the girlfriend's here. And you know what? She's horny when she gets there.
She's
horny.
That's why I'm saying, like, I don't think he's that bad of a guy, because he's like...
No, he's not a bad guy. He's just going to grow up to be bad later. Not like he's going to, like, abuse
maybe
him.
This girl...
He's just going to be irritating.
Maybe this girl will turn him around.
I don't know.
Maybe this girl will be like, you need to learn some fucking manners if you want this.
I could pinpoint the exact moment that her pussy got dry. And I will tell you when we get to it.
I don't want to talk about a 13-year-old's.
Okay, I'm just telling you. I can tell you the exact moment. I'm saying metaphorically speaking, Sean. I can tell you the exact moment that she was turned off by him. And like, I have to leave right now. Because she does leave at some point.
She does. But I don't know if that happens. You'll have to prove
you'll know. I'll tell you.
Okay. Meanwhile, in little brother Max's room, the telescope starts shaking and spinning. It's got a mind of its own. Little brother's downstairs. He's like, I don't suppose there's any chance we can make out. And they're about to make out. And then fucking Max pops up and is like, this telescope's moving by itself.
And the older brother, Rush, I'm just going to call him Rush. I don't care what his real name is.
Okay.
He's fucking furious.
Yeah, well, yeah, he is. This isn't great for him.
No, but this is the moment because I think that she sees what a dick he is to his little brother and how explosive he gets because he calls him a festering sore.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
And I think she was like,
you are right. His name is fucking Rush.
Does it say that on IMDb?
Yes.
Does it say that?
It's fucking Rush. That is honestly unbelievable.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
Oh my God. That's so fucking crazy to me. This guy's a big actor too.
This show launched careers.
I think it did. Like this guy's like a TV, like he's been in TV forever.
Ryan Gosling was on this show.
Yes. Yeah. That's fucking wild. All right. So Rush. Wow. That's something. But see, you say she's done there, but she comes back and she instigates making out later.
Wait, when does she come back?
Just like a few minutes. She just comes back in a few minutes.
Oh,
she fucking lays it
okay.
on thick.
She does, but the point. Okay, I'm thinking of what happens after.
Actually, that might not happen. I don't know.
She leaves at some point shortly after he calls her or calls the brother a festering sore.
Yeah. Well, because she's like, he's cute.
Yeah, I just think she's like, okay, like you're gonna get it later, but you need to fucking calm down and stop being so shitty to your little brother.
Yeah,
I think she thinks that festering sore is a lame insult.
Oh wow, they're Canadian. She's I don't think she thinks it's lame. They're Canadian. I think she's like, that was the meanest thing you could ever call somebody.
Okay, you're totally
that is the cruelest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, so she was appalled. She was appalled by festering sore because that's like calling someone a cunt.
Yeah, it's the C word. It's terrible. It's
the C word.
It's terrible.
So this is the CDs part.
Yes. Well, so the kid goes back upstairs and is like, like, and then the kid's like, I'm just up here to get some CDs, and then gets the CDs, and then goes back down. Oh, that's when she starts making out with him, because he brings down the CDs and he's like, he's like, so do you want to listen to me? Like, I'm telling you, this guy's like, listen, they portray him as a dick. He's a dickhead to his brother, but to this girl, he is putty. He doesn't know what to do with this woman. He's never been with a woman. This woman's
but he's so desperate. He's so desperate, and he's like, that's what I'm saying. Is like he's a two-faced little shit because he's a maniacal asshole.
Okay, I guess you're right.
His brother, and then he's like, to the girl. It's like, no, that's how he's gonna treat you like he treats the little brother when he gets bored of you. Eventually.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But listen, this woman's about to make a man out of him, because he's like, want to listen to some music, and then she's just like, bam, lays one on him, and he just drops the CDs. I think even with the comment, she was like, you know what?
She's gonna give him the benefit of the doubt.
She might have some daddy issues.
But some stuff happens. But she does leave eventually after a fight that the brother and him have.
Well, sure, because he's just an asshole.
Yeah, that's when she's like, okay, the festering sore I overlooked. But yeah,
it's because right while that's happening, the CDs, a hand grabs the little brother from under the bed.
Which is terrifying. And also, I mean, it wasn't terrifying to watch, but like, is it scary to watch? It wasn't it wasn't like on the show terrifying. I'm just saying, like, that would be terrifying. That is like a childhood fear of like being grabbed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if like when you tried to pull it away, it was revealed that it was a skeleton hand under the glove.
That would be extra scary.
That would be the fucking worst.
And then, so the kid's like, help me. And Russ is like, God damn it.
He's like, shut the fuck up.
So Russ goes upstairs, and of course the hand's not there. And then that's when Russ has a meltdown. And that's when the girl's like, yeah, I don't think this is going to work out, and leaves. So Rush, we just abruptly cut to Rush having a dream about a graveyard. He sees that dead pirate the bum pirate from earlier. He sees his ghost, and he's like, 'tis you the one, 'tis you the one. What he wants is not what he desires. Don't be fooled. Remember my words. Fucking absurd.
It's so cryptic.
So cryptic. Like, why? What was the first ghost? What was the first movie where they were like, let's make it canon that ghosts cannot just tell you what they need.
Right.
They have to talk in fucking riddles.
I hate it. I hate it so much. You can't just be like, hey, I need you to do this. I need you to avenge my death. No, he's speaking in verse.
And like, if there was some type of law for ghosts where it was like, you can't help the humans, you have to speak in like riddles, they'd be like, you know what? The humans always solve the riddle. So let's just not say anything. Like, no more talking. No more talking.
Right. No more talking. We just appear. Brush's bright orange blouse, by the way,
it's beautiful.
Is really beautiful under the moonlight, under the graveyard moonlight.
Well, that ghost disappears, and then Cutter comes up behind him with a skeleton hand, and Russ wakes up. And now the telescope works. Even though he's in his house, he looks through the telescope, and he can see himself walking to the graveyard again, which I don't understand, but...
Look, there were so many elements in this movie that were unnecessary. And that was one of them. I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. What's that all about?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Like the telescope just made up its own rules as it went along.
It did. But meanwhile, Max is drawn outside. Well, so, okay, wait, I'm lying. So Rush goes back to Sardo's and is like, take this fucking bullshit telescope. Like, it's fucking, you're fucking wacky. And we get such a Vink tease right now.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore Vink teasing.
It is.
Hardcore Vink teasing. Because you see Vink's body and hear his voice, but you don't see him. And he's like, the boy will be back. And when he returns, you send him to me. Fucking tease that Vank. Back at the house, though, Max is drawn to a foggy window. As you know, that's what pirates move through, is the fog. And he finds the telescope outside, as well as a fucking fisherman boat. And Rush goes looking for him, finds him outside. First he goes into his room and finds a knife with a note that says, "This is no dream. The boy is mine."
Oh, yeah.
Child slavery. Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. The boat pulls up to Max outside, and it's a skeleton. And then it turns into this like hunchback type fellow.
Like a wart.
Yeah. He chases him back in the house. He corners him there. And then Cutter appears. But Max is in a trance, and they just kind of take him.
I just don't get why he wants to steal the child so bad.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, they kind of try and explain it, but it's not.
Yeah, but it's not enough. The worst explanation.
It's not enough. It's not enough.
It's not enough at all. Like, what is the point of the child?
Yeah, and
okay.
and
we'll
Cutter,
get there.
And Cutter's like, take a look. It'll be the last time you see him. And then they disappear into the boat. They drift away. Rush looks into the telescope and sees that they are headed to the lighthouse. Well, actually, it's not a lighthouse. It's like a fucking cave, but for some reason, it's also like a castle. I don't really understand it, but it's fine. But we cut to the Midnight Society where it starts to rain, and everyone's like, "Oh man, this is the best story ever."
They are on the edge of their seats. They think, yeah. They just want it to continue.
They're like, just finish it. But
they're like about to come from the story.
They are. They're like pent up like Rush.
Right.
They're ready to bust. And then, but quite the tease, to be continued. To be continued. The gang runs away into the rain. And all I could think at this point is like, wow, this was so unnecessary. This two parts of this is unbelievably unnecessary.
It's actually not a compelling story at all.
It's one of the least compelling stories I've seen on TV ever.
Same.
So we start part 2, and it's a recap of Rush and Max. And Rush goes to Sardo after the recap about his missing brother, which he says, Rush is like, "Oh, let's call the police." And Sardo's like,
This guy's obsessed with calling the police. This guy fucking loves cops. He was just like, "I'm going to call the cops on you."
Fucking
And
narc.
Sardo's like, yeah, he's a narc. And Sardo's like, good luck. But I mean, Yeah, wouldn't you just be like, my brother's missing? Like, it's
Sure.
not like he would. But I guess Rush is an idiot. He'd be like, a pirate took my brother.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. And so Sardou's like, listen, you little bitch. Why don't you go see this guy, Dr. Vink? He'll help you out. He gave me the chest. So he goes to Dr. Vink.
And he's a barber in this episode.
No, he's not. That chair, yes, he sits him in a barber chair.
No, he gives him a business card and says, go see this hairdresser at the Wild Boar Salon. And the Wild Boar is like the same name as the soup.
Okay, so that's weird. So, because I thought he was a perfume guy because he's like, do you want to try my perfumes?
No, he just like uses these things to like tonics to rub on the scalp.
Yeah, this guy loves tinctures and tinctures and tonics.
He always has the most whimsical workspaces with like bubbling things.
Dude, he's like pre-Harry Potter. Like, you know what?
Totally.
Can we start a petition to get fucking that bitch J.K. Rowling's to put, I don't know why I called her a bitch, to put Dr. Vink in Harry Potter world. Like,
he should be.
Let's clear the rights. Let's get this guy in there. He belongs in that world.
He does belong in that world. I just want to see more Dr. Vink as an adult.
Get him into Fantastic Beasts. He's in America. The Wild Boar. That sounds like totally Harry Potter shit. Like,
oh my God. Yeah, you're right. His whole world and the way he dresses, and he's just like so whimsical.
Yeah, I'm with it, man.
I'm a Vink stan.
I'm a Vink stan also. Wait, did you see my post today about, or maybe it was yesterday, I don't know. Oh no, it was today because it's Friday and new music was released. So I was on my Spotify new music. Well, it wasn't the new music for you because this was not directed at me because I don't know who the fuck this person is. But it was like all the new music that was released today. And I saw Stan, but by this person I've never heard of in my life. And it said like Spotify sessions. And I was like, I know 2 songs by the name of Stan, Eminem, and one by that guy Black. Yeah. And I'm like, is this a cover of one of those, or is this just a new song? I listened to it, and it is like, I don't even know how to explain it. It is like as if like old school Justin Bieber, like childhood Justin Bieber covered Stan. By Eminem.
What?
By Eminem.
Why would you cover that song?
It's so weird. You need to go listen to it later. Like as soon as we done recording.
Because I'm upset by that.
No,
why would you cover that song?
So bizarre. It's one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard in my life.
That's like one of the most iconically Eminem songs.
Right.
You can't cover that song because that's an Eminem song.
I mean, the guy literally is talking to Slim Shady. Like he says Slim, he's dyeing his hair blonde.
You also can't cover rap songs. That's
what I think. I agree with that also.
Like that's something you can't cover.
Yeah.
You can cover other songs, but you can't cover rap.
That song's so personal. Like it talks about his wife, his uncle, his
daughter.
Yeah.
Like it is so incredibly personal.
It's so weird. It's so fucking weird.
And also that song is like a perfect song. Like it sounds perfect.
It's fine.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Like it's fun. You know what I mean? Like there's no way you're going to improve it. You're just going to make people angry.
And I think the kid that I'm calling him a kid. I have no idea who this person is. I'm going to look it up right now real quick.
I will abolish that person.
He even sings the Dido part himself. Like he is
Stop it. That's fucking unacceptable.
He is a singer. This man is a singer. Oh, his name is Alec Benjamin. I got to pull him up real quick. Alec Benjamin.
Oh, I see it. I'm looking at your story right now.
It's Alec Benjamin, right? Oh yeah. So it's just this nerdy white American singer-songwriter. He looks like a doofus. I mean, oh yeah, this is bad. This is bad. But yeah, he covered it, man.
That's horrible.
And on his Twitter, he just said, "I wonder if Eminem will ever hear my cover of Stan."
I hope he doesn't. Just for Eminem's sobriety and his sanity, I hope he never has to hear it.
You know what, though? Even worse, this kid's 24 years old. Like,
so he wasn't even like,
no,
he was like
I was
a
giving him
baby when
credit.
that song came out.
Yeah. And honestly, like, but even if he was recording this as a younger person, I'd be like, I'd give him a little bit more leeway. Like if he was like a 13-year-old singer, songwriter type person, I'd be like, okay, you're still a fucking idiot. But
no, but he's a grown ass man.
Yeah. You woo.
That's disappointing.
Yeah. Well,
it's scarier than Cutter's Treasure.
Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about.
Where were we? How did we get from Dr. Vink, Dr. Vink's barbershop? Okay, wait.
Sincerely yours, Mr. Stan.
Yes, sincerely yours, Dr. Vink.
Your fan, Vink.
Because I said I was a Vink stan.
You are a Vink stan. So
I am.
Yeah, so we're introduced to Dr. Vink, who's in his barber shop, I guess, and he goes, "Vink's the name, Dr. Vink." And he's also like, "I'm not a nutbag," even though no one says it.
Yeah, he just like has to put that in there.
Yeah. But Vink reveals his latest thing is hair and perfumes. And of course they have interesting properties. But he does not use them on this fellow. Vink tells him everything he knows about Cutter, which is everything, literally everything.
He's like a Cutter expert.
Yes.
He like wrote his dissertation
expert.
He is the mangle expert.
And it's unbelievable.
And I think the kid brings up a very good point. Rush brings up a good point, which is why the fuck does this 200-year-old pirate give a shit? Like, why the fuck should I be fighting this 200-year-old pirate? Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
What is the point? Why?
Which is also the best part of the show. Because he's like, you open the chest, you have to do battle with them. And he's like, I don't want to. What's your full name? Russell Ian Keegan. So what? He flips over the chest and reveals a name carved into the bottom of the chest for no reason. It says Ian Keegan. So he is the ancestor of the guy, and he's got to finish the job now.
So stupid.
Yeah. So Vink brings him to the site of his dream. He encounters the OG Ian Keegan, who again is like,
also,
grandson, don't be fooled.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Why does Dr. Vink care so much too?
Because, I mean, he's getting some cash at the end of this.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the cash.
But, like, this is a lot of work for cash. This is a lot of work for cash.
Right. There are way easier ways to make cash.
I feel like Dr. Vink, well, I mean, outside of trying to kill everyone by stealing their fears.
He has weird hobbies.
In this episode, it appears Vink, like you said, is more whimsical. Like, in this episode, it feels like he's just looking for an adventure. He's like, I just got to see this through. Like this shit's weird and magical, and that's kind of up my alley. So let me just see what happens here. Right.
I'll put 2 children in peril because this is like really interesting.
Yeah.
He's a bored weirdo.
Kids are pawns in this show.
Kids are pawns.
It's unbelievable.
Okay, I'm sorry. You were talking about the bum pirate?
Oh yeah, so the bum pirate shows back up at the castle-ish type thing, and he's like, the dagger has the power. Grandson, don't be fooled. What he wants is not what he desires.
Oh, and he's in the cave. Are we in the cave right now?
Yeah, he goes in. Yeah, skeleton.
It's like Indiana Jones.
Yeah. It's very Indiana Jones. He falls down, and a skeleton's like, "Welcome aboard, Skipper!" And then he like
I laughed out loud at that part.
He falls down like a fucking pit of despair. Yeah, very Indiana Jones set style. It actually looks like they used the Legends of the Hidden Temple set.
You're right. It's definitely not as high tech.
No, yeah, it's
it's not as artfully done. It is definitely like you're about to see Kirk Fogg swinging in on a rope.
Yeah, some foam shit, some foam stones. So he's walking around this creepy dungeon and he sees his little brother. Little bro. But he's acting a little weird. He's acting a little...
Looks drugged.
He looks
like he looks like he's been drugged.
It looks like old Cutter's... him and old Cutter have been doing some weird shit down here. But turns out, nope, it's just one of the pirates who somehow has now had the power to turn into shapeshift. I guess.
Also, the spyglass keeps like changing magical things that it does.
Yes. Well, and this is kind of weird too, because to dispatch this hunchback pirate that shows back up, all he does is hold out that fucking dagger and it kills that pirate. Like, it makes him disappear by shooting a light out at him. By shooting...
It was a magical dagger.
That's fucking ridiculous. Because... I don't know.
It was fucking stupid.
Because how did his fucking granddad lose a fight if all he had to do was hold the goddamn dagger?
Also, the granddad was an idiot to begin with, because in the opening scene, in the prologue, he's like, I'm going to kill you, when he's like 10 feet behind him. It's like, you don't say that when you're not even close to the guy. You're not even an inch away about to stab him. He gave the guy plenty of time to be like, oh, yeah?
Yeah, well, he dispatches this guy. He finds his brother in a cage. He's about to get him out, but Cutter appears. And Cutter is so pissed. Cutter's like, I've been waiting 2 centuries for a grand battle.
And I love that Rush is like, I don't want to fight, though.
Yeah, Rush is like, I don't want to fight. I don't have a sword. And Cutter's like, well, then that's too bad.
Yeah, he doesn't like toss him one or anything.
Yeah, and then Vink like sneaks in somehow. And
how did Dr. Vink get there?
I don't know, but also Vink's like, you're like, oh, what's Vink gonna do? Vink's gonna help this kid. Here's how Vink helps.
Sean, it's Vink. Okay.
Oh, Vink. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Wait, why was I? Wait, I think I might have written.
Are you auto-corrected to Vink?
I think it might. No, it definitely says Vink. I'm just, I'm just a fucking idiot because. Oh no, I did write Vink. I wrote Vink there. Okay, all right, yeah. This one spot I wrote Vink. That's what fucked me up. So Vink walks in, and like you're like, oh, what's he gonna do? What's he gonna do to help the kid? Here's what he does. The kid's like sitting there about to be murdered, and Vink's like, hey kid, you have a dagger that you can use.
Oh, dude, that part was so funny because it was like the stagehand giving directions to the kid on stage who forgot his line. It was like, what? Like, he forgot already the thing that the weird ghost grandpa told him? I don't think so.
You're about to be murdered. And
he's like, hey, don't forget to use the sword.
You're not going to use the one thing that you fucking have to fight? Like, you fucking kidding me?
He has to have. How did Dr. Vink even get there?
I don't know. And then Cutter, like, the kid pulls out the dagger, and in 2 seconds, Cutter kicks the dagger out of his fucking hands.
Right. He's like 4 times the size of him.
Yeah, and it's unbelievable. He's about to kill him, but the brother frees himself and grabs the dagger. Little Max grabs the dagger.
I don't think so.
They hold up the dagger, and it shoots a light at Cutter, tying him into the chair. And Vink's like, hey, man, you're going to have to kill this guy.
But then Rush has this like spiritual awakening at this moment.
Even that is unbelievable that Vink has 2 children and he's like, hey, kid, you're going to have to just fucking murder this guy.
Right. Why doesn't Vink murder him?
It's so crazy. But yeah, then he remembers what his great grandpappy Ian said. And he's like, but we get a long dissertation about everything here. Like,
that's what I'm saying is he has this like come to Jesus moment with himself.
Right. Because Cutter's like, just fucking kill me. Well, he does not say that. He's like,
he kind of does. That's
basically he does. It's the context. He's like, just kill me. Like, just do it, you little baby. And like Rush is like, thinks he has to do it, but doesn't want to. And then he's like, oh, wait, my great grandpappy said not to do what he says. But then Rush goes one step further and starts explaining this guy's psychological issues.
Right.
And is like, and basically he's like, Cutter's doing all of this elaborate plot because he's like lonely.
It was so bad.
He's like,
I was so upset at that explanation.
Yeah, he's like, you just don't want to be down here alone. So you stole my brother. So I would have to come down here and fight you because you just like fighting people. And Cutter's like, no. And
so he's like, I'm going to leave you alive. But then the cave caves in.
Yes.
Wouldn't that kill him? And he's like, no.
He's a ghoul.
So yeah, he's also a ghoul. So he's already dead.
Yeah, none of this makes sense, Rachel. I'm not making excuses here. I mean, but the kid also breaks the knife. So that way, no.
Oh, and then it does a magic thing when it breaks the knife.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't quite know what. But they escape. Great grandpappy Ian tells his grandson he's so proud of him. The kids look through the telescope, which again, the powers of the telescope change again and transports them home.
Right. All of a sudden, it's like a teleporter.
Another time and another place. And then the kids, for like 5 minutes, discuss whether they're going to tell people about this. I'm like, no, why the fuck would you tell anybody about this? Like, this is fucking ridiculous. But the most important part about this, ending is Dr. Vink shows up.
Yes.
And Dr. Vink gives them 2 shitty little jewels.
Oh, yeah.
As payment for risking their lives. And then Sardo shows up. The sexual tension between Sardo and Vink is palpable. It is.
They're touching each other's clothing.
Those two, if those two didn't fuck after, whether it's characters or actors, I don't even know. Because like, like you have to have chemistry, like people talk about like chemistry between actors.
They had it. They had it.
Electric. These two.
I ship them for sure.
Oh, for sure. I just found out what that is. I just Googled that recently because I saw somebody posting about it. I was like, what the fuck does that mean? Yeah.
It's so stupid.
No, these guys for sure ship these two.
Power couple. They could take over the world.
The way they touch. And then there's even like, I don't know why I didn't write it down, but Sardo says shit that, Sardo's like, can't we go on an adventure together? Like Sardo's like very sad that their relationship is ending because like Cutter's treasure's over. It was really interesting. It was such an interesting dynamic that we saw. Oh my God, it was so weird. And like Vink's like, I'll give you money. And like it's all so weird. It's all so weird.
It was a lot and I really liked it. I really liked it.
I loved it. And by the way, it's not weird. Some people like fucking look into the shit we say. I'm not saying it's weird because I'm saying like it's a gay relationship. I'm saying it's just weird that like in a children's show, it's clearly an undertone. Like there is no way that this was like accidental.
No, that's sexual tension.
It's
and I
very
was
sexual.
Here for it. It was like the most interesting part of the episode.
It was. I want to see Vink and Sardo like.
I want to see them team up and be like a duo that goes on adventures together. And they're both
gay duo.
The ambiguously gay, whimsical duo. And like, you know what? But I don't even want them to be ambiguously gay. Like, no, I want representation. This is like very good.
I don't even know what ambiguous means. Is that like
it means like we don't know. Are they maybe? Are they not? Like, I want them to be a fully out couple going on whimsical adventures together through time and with magic and they're both kind of fucked up, but they're heroes, like they're anti-heroes. I need to stop talking because I'm going to pitch this show to somebody. I'm going to pitch this. The other thing I want to mention,
gay magician and a gay whatever Dr. Vink.
Whatever.
I don't
He's
want
a
to say a gay
doctor.
doctor, but he's not a doctor.
He's not a doctor. He definitely just is like, I'm going to call myself a doctor to sound more sophisticated. I love in The Dangerous Soup when Reed is like, a doctor of what?
Yeah.
He calls him out on it. The other thing that happens is like the kid Rush is like there for all of this. And Rush goes, well, I don't know who you guys are, but I don't think I'll ever forget you.
Oh, yeah.
And if I was Rush, I would be like, I don't know who you guys are, but fuck you.
Yeah, stay the fuck away from me.
You put me and my little brother's life in danger for fun and games.
For a ruby.
For a ruby, yeah. That looks like it came from the dollar store. It's not even real, I can tell. You got this.
Oh, yeah. They're so brightly colored. Like,
they're so fake. They look plastic. You can tell they're plastic. And then there's like that one final scene where the parents are pulling into the driveway and they're like, whoa, we had a crazy adventure. And Rush and his brother are like, yeah, right. I bet you did.
not as crazy as us, am I right? And that's the end of the tale of Cutter's Treasure. Not Cutler's. Cutter's Treasure, man. Good episode. So, Rachel, I don't know if you'll be back next week, but you might be. You might be. I'll check
fine.
with Joe. I'll check with Joe. I imagine it's going to be a few more weeks. I think Joe rushed back. Well, because like when you have one kid, it's pretty easy to like find some time to like do shit. But like you have a newborn and I forget how old she. Oh, she's just one. I just went to her first birthday.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot on your plate.
It's
man.
a lot. It is a lot.
So we'll find out what's going on with Joe. Maybe we'll call.
I'm happy to come back.
Yeah, we're having a blast.
And I'm also happy if Joe's like, get the fuck off my show.
Yeah, we'll find out. Joe's got his Successful Music podcast now.
What? Is that a real podcast?
It's not on because he can't host it technically because of the copyrighted music. He'll like put samples of songs on it, so he can't. I don't know how that works. Could he get that on iTunes?
Joe and I have like the same phone background too, the Boognish.
Oh, he has like I don't know. He might be able to get it on iTunes. I don't know, but Spotify he definitely can't get it on. They won't allow it. But I think he might be able to get it on iTunes. I should talk to him about that.
But it's on SoundCloud.
It's on SoundCloud, and I think he's been putting them up on YouTube recently.
So is it just him talking about different music?
Yeah. He's like a little encyclopedia. So if you guys want to check that out, go to his Instagram, which I think is Boognish 1985. I don't know because they're all different. Yeah, Boognish 1985 is his Instagram. Go there, check out his link for his music podcast. Good shit there. I'm at facebook.com/IHateHorror, IHateHorror.com. And I'm on Instagram at IHateHorror. Rachel, tell them what they've won.
They've won a trip to my Twitter feed where you'll see my mania unfold in real time. At the Rachel Fisher. You can see me pose like a hoe on Instagram at Childlike Empress.
Oh, well, who doesn't want to see that? We love it.
Who doesn't want to see that?
We love it.
We love it. And you can join my podcast, or you can subscribe to my podcast,
whatever you do with a podcast,
Hollywood Crime Scene, and you can join the Facebook group Hollywood Crime Scene Friends, and we talk about true crime and post memes and shit if you're into that.
I'm all about the memes. Memes.
It's a fun group.
Yeah, there you go. All right, Rachel. So we won't know what we're doing next week until a little later, but we will chat. We will definitely chat, Rachel. Thank you so much for helping if this is the last time. And
it was a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you. And for Joe, for Joe and Rachel, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.
Dissect. Movies all fucking day.
Wanna play?
I'm gonna watch what I'm not supposed to watch.
Dismember.
A fucking zombie getting sliced and diced. A monster.
Mutilate. and butcher and butcher and butcher. That's it, guys. That's it, guys.
Meow, 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 meow.